And now, if we could have everybody rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. All right, let's play ball.
Hello and welcome. We are back at Walt Nicgorski Field here in Pennsauken for the nightcap. It is the visiting Delsea Regional Crusaders versus the home squad, and that would be Kings Christian for BFA Sports. Doug Stasic sitting up here in the press box as Cale McGill delivers the first pitch of the evening. We'll get to the lineups in just a few minutes as this one get underway quite quickly. McGill delivers another pitch in, that one for a called strike. Now 1-1. Pulls it back. We got a grounder over to short, fires over to first, and that there is the 6-3 putout. Nice job by the starting shortstop, Jake Cheeseman, making that routine play. All right, now that'll bring to the plate number 27. That ball up and away. That ball chopped foul. now a 1-1 count. It's always so much easier when the coaches actually give you the starting lineup about 38 seconds before the first pitch. All right, McGill winds and fires. He chops one. That one's up the middle. Cheeseman spins, fires the first. And, man, what a play. Flashing the leather. So, Jake Cheeseman with the web gem. Get this party started a bit early, at least defensively for Kings Christian. First two Crusaders are in the books. And now that pitch is upstairs. Now facing the catcher, Mike McGinley. McGinley chops it foul. So even count 1-1 here early in the top of the first. That pitch misses. Now 2-1. Gill spins and fires again. That ball is lifted out to left field, tracking it all the way to the corner. And ball's going to get by, but runner heads into second base. So McGinley going to have a stand-up double. That one was tough for Jack Lenahan out there in the corner. So with 2 outs, the Crusaders in business. An opportunity as a runner in scoring position as the starting pitcher now, Steven Schofield, will come to bat. And there is a look at the Crusaders lineup with Luca Gebhardt, Jake Watson, McGinley with that double, Schofield in the cleanup spot, your starting pitcher. Max Van Auken at short, Ryan Harrison at third, Landon Birds at first, Chris Ialucci at left, and Frankie Master, your designated hitter. And there is Steven Schofield as he fouls off McGill's first offering down the right side. So McGill checks the runner. Fires. That ball is in the dirt, but nowhere to go. As the courtesy runner for the catcher is Drexel Gant. Gill fires again. That ball lifted out towards the foul territory and into the bullpen. So still life here for Schofield, down 1-2 in the count. And McGill going to recheck things. He steps off. Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So nice job by Bonaccio on the squeeze. After a one hit, the Crusaders will leave one stranded, but no runs to speak of. Kings Christian coming to bat the bottom half of the first frame here at the Thank You Classic on BFA. And we rejoin the action as a leadoff bunt by Logan Brown, but he's punched out. Big time defensive play over in the corner by Ryan Harrison. So nice work there. Logan Brown trying to keep him sleeping or catch him sleeping, but that one didn't play out. And now it's going to bring up number 10. That pitch is foul down the right field side. And this is the shortstop, Jake Cheeseman, who was flashing the leather the first half of this frame. As Steven Schofield fires one down, misses out of the zone. Let's see. Winds and fires. That ball misses away. And that ball is chopped to the shortstop. Fires across. Nice defensive play by Max Van Alken. And that already makes 2 outs in the books. And that'll bring up the starting pitcher, Cale McGill. Cale McGill, the Washington College commit. He takes first pitch offering. Wastes no time as he fires again. That ball driven into the right center field gap. And that is going to be a base knock for Cale McGill. And he'll stretch it into a would-be double. So a nice piece of hitting there by the senior pitcher. And that'll give Kings Christian one of the first scoring opportunities of the evening for them. All right, now Isaiah Andruzzi. He'll check in to the ball game, batting in the cleanup spot, and that's a first pitch strike from Schofield. Winds and fires, foul tip swing. Now 2 strikes. All right, now an 0-2 count. Schofield checks McGill. He fires, and he gets him swinging. So he strikes out Andruzzi to end the first inning. And just like Delsea, Kings has a 1 hit, leaves a runner stranded at second, but no runs to speak of. Just like that, we'll be headed to the top of the second right here on BFA. All right, and there is a look at the starting lineup for your Crusaders. Again, Gebhard, Watson, McGinley, Schofield. This inning, we're going to see Van Auken, Harrison, and Burns to get things going as Kel McGill comes back for his second inning of work. First pitch, ball smacked up the middle. Web gem again? Sure, make it look easy. Jake, it ain't easy being Cheeseman. That was just slick is the best way to describe that one. Good work there. Man, oh, man. All right, so McGill fires first pitch strike into Landon Burns. That ball grounded to who else? The human vacuum cleaner. Cheeseman over to first, and he makes another play. So another 6-3 put out in the books as McGill continues to induce groundouts. And that was my mistake. That was actually Ryan Harrison. This is Landon Burns. And Burns, he drops the bunt. McGill going to pick it up, and he'll flip it over to first base. So Andruzzi makes the squeeze, and just like that, the Crusaders go up and down in order here in the second. All right, let's take a look at this Kings Christian starting lineup. We had Logan Brown, Jake Cheeseman, Cale McGill, and Isaiah Andruzzi in the first inning. We're going to lead things off here with Kevin Beer, then Carson McGill, and Mike Bonaccio. Schofield's first pitch in is a strike to Kevin Beer. Kevin Beer, your starting third baseman, but Jake Cheeseman hasn't let him get any action as he's taken it all himself over there on the left side of the field so far today. That pitch up and in. Now evens the count at 1 apiece. And as this game kind of moves on, we'll be meeting with some of the quasi-celebrities, those we want to show some appreciation for here at the Thank You Classic. A couple guests of Kings Christian and Delsea as we finally start to get things caught up here in the booth, as this game has moved fast and furious. Now 1-2 to Beers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Schofield dealing like it's the casino. And now batting will be number 1, the center fielder, Carson McGill. That's right, there's 2 McGills in this Kings Christian lineup. Carson, the younger brother, as he takes the first pitch in for a called strike. Schofield working at a furious pace. Just keeps getting up and throwing. He winds and fires. Right there on the corner. Called strike. The Crusader dugout is a bit chippy. Can't see much in the dugout cam right now as it's a little dark. And McGinley couldn't squeeze that one. Umpire says it just missed off the corner. All right, that ball misses. 2-2. Winds and fires. Swing and a miss. He strikes out McGill. Man, so nice pitcher's duel is growing here as the catcher, Mike Bonaccio, climbs into the batter's box. Bonaccio looks the part, and guarantee you he is a bit of a power hitter. Leaves that pitch up. Calls it a ball to Bonaccio. Healthy hack. Good breaking ball pitch. Called that for a strike, and Schofield feeling it. That ball hangs on the corner, and if you're in the Delsea dugout, you got to think almost every pitch is a strike, the way they're reacting. I mean, why be the player if you can be the player and the umpire at the same time? Schofield. That one misses. Now full count. Schofield delivers. Swing and a miss. He gets Bonaccio chasing, strikes him out, and Schofield, 3 Ks in the book here in the second. We still remain scoreless. We're going to head to the bottom half of the third here at Walt Nicgorski Field for the Thank You Classic. You got the do-up. All right, and so we are rejoining the action here as Cale McGill comes out for the third frame of work. And it has been fast and furious thus far. And here on this gorgeous Saturday night in early May, now joined in the booth by Dr. James Runfola. So Doc, guest of King's Christian and of Folklore on Twitter, because Coach John Scanzano, in all seriousness, I guess in a moment of kind of lightheartedness, you were a guy that played a major role in being a catcher, and that's in catching him at one of his probably most craziest of times. You know, he really sits there and says, as he was kind of going through the whole dynamic of battling COVID, that if it wasn't for you, he might not actually be in uniform.
You know, he was pretty ill, but thankfully he made it through. I mean, there's been a lot of people that have had that same story, and I think he's grateful now that he's back on the diamond.
He certainly is, as Chris Ialucci hammers one over to third, and that one's going to be hot to handle, forcing over to throw, but not going to get there in time. So Kevin Beer try to smother that one, but instead Ialucci reaches first base here in the third. And, you know, again, Doc, the amount of people that you've been able to help and diagnose and rehab this past year has, I guess, changed the game in terms of what it's like to practice in medicine.
It has. There hasn't been anything like it in my 20 years of medicine. Not at all. There have been so many people affected by this disease and their families. It's been really difficult for them. I'm just grateful that I can play a small role in getting them through it.
Cut you off. McGill will field his position on the sacrifice bunt. That's a 1-3 put out, but that's going to move Iolucci up in a scoring position. And again, I'm joined here in the booth by Dr. James Ronfola, the physician of Coach John Scanzano. And, Doc, we're talking. Night like tonight, though, this has got to be one of those moments where you kind of take a look around and say, wow, like it's nice to kind of get back to this point and have some people outside and able to enjoy each other's company a bit.
Exactly. Beautiful night. Cases are starting to go down a little bit. We're outside. I think people are getting hopeful that we're going to get through this.
Yeah, the optimism and the positivity that's really been flowing throughout, and just this day alone, and to see all these people out here, and people having a beverage in hand, and still being cautious though, which is good. Like they're enjoying each other's company, but they're at least giving each other a little bit of breathing room.
That's right. And some would say that the beverages might help with viral control.
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with that. I mean, if the doc's going to prescribe it, we should certainly partake where needed. Of course, everything in what's
moderation.
Moderation. There we go. Another squares the bunt. So we're back to the top of the order with Luca Gebhard, who grounded out to short in his first at-bat. The Delsea dugout is certainly their lungs are working just fine.
They are. No deficit of oxygen over there.
So two teams that have a lot of familiarity with each other as Gebhard squares, pulls it back, but that's still going to be a called strike on the 3-0 pitch. These guys in the offseason tend to train and work out, many of them over at the Scanzano Combat Baseball Facility in Cherry Hill. Not too far of a 3-wood from here. As McGill continues to fire, this one's going to drop a bunt, and umpire calls it foul. I don't know by much, though, where he was standing in the box. I mean, I'm not going to be critical of anybody better than me, but we do have a bird's eye view from up here in the box. All right, so Gebhard, after being up 3-0, had a fake bunt, taking a pitch, and now fouls that off, finds himself suddenly full count as Iolucci still out at second base. Here's the pitch, swings, and he drives. That single's going into right center field, and round comes Iolucci. And Gebhard, stand-up double, and that'll get the scoring started first for the Crusaders. Nice piece of hitting by the starting center fielder. Man, these are the kind of moments that we've all missed, I think, here for the better part of a year in the making. That is for sure. Snap throw down to second base. That ball is going to get away from Cheeseman. Cheeseman going to throw now to third. And he gets him off the bag. So not your typical put out of the 2-6-5 variety. But nonetheless, it appeared that Gebhard was in the bag safe, got slightly off the bag, and give credit to Beers, who kept the tag on and now erases a runner. And with a now 2-out spot to be in, McGill continues to fire, and this time to Jake Watson. Man, that was hard to put in the scoring book there, gentlemen. I was going to caught stealing. Oh, and he lifts one out to right field, but squeezing it is going to be the center fielder, and that's Carson McGill. So not your typical inning here. As, again, we're joined by Doc Ronfola. And, Doc, so Now that we're out here, what's your kind of prognosis for where it is that we're going to go? We're going to be able to see more outdoor activities and summer events?
I think so. With the vaccination rate going up and the case count going down, I think we're going to look at a pretty active summer, as long as people are careful when they're indoors. But outside, what we know about this virus now is that the transmission outside is very low. So hopefully we get back to some normal activity.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that for sure. One of the other pieces, I guess, that I got to sit there and ask you. You've done a lot of high-pressure situations and scenarios and trying to help patients, but, I mean, what was it like versus trying to throw a strike during a ceremonial first pitch? I mean, you were out there. You looked pretty good. The form was good.
The form was good. The pitch was not. It's been a long time. I don't want to blame it my shoulder, but,
well,
it's still on fire.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, you looked the part. Coach Scanzano hooked you up. You're wearing the Knights jersey today.
That's
to get to be the honorary team member, and rightfully so.
Happy to represent. I really am.
And there is Coach John Scanzano. He's like the butler of Mr. Deeds. You just turn around, he's suddenly there. I mean, why be in the dugout when you could be in the press box? So coming up here in the frame is going to be Jack Lenahan, Will Smith, and Logan Brown for Kings Christian. And Schofield comes back with another strong pitch. Now 1-0. And that ball is in for a strike. Schofield winds and fires. And he hammers one to the third base side. That one is foul. All right, now 1-2. So, Doc, any kind of counsel or advice? I mean, sometimes I think there's always the small concern that as people get a bit more comfortable and that ball is driven into right center field. That's for a base knock. As the bats now continue to wake up a bit. So with nobody on, already have things rocking here as Lenahan, the leadoff single of the inning, brings up Will Smith, the right fielder. But, getting back to it, Doc, sometimes you get a level of comfort, and then sometimes I think people can kind of get overconfident and maybe drop their guard a little too early. So any kind of advice you would continue to give or offer?
Yeah, at the top of the list is get your vaccine. There's a lot of data behind the safety of the vaccine and its efficacy. So in order to get things, open and closer to normal, getting the vaccine is probably the most important thing. That's what's going to bring us back to normalcy. And then just, continue to mind your P's and Q's when you're in closed spaces. But the vaccine really is critical.
Yeah, actually, one of our teammates, he's not here today because he just got his second shot. So, making sure we're taking all. He's feeling a little bit, but you know what? It's well worth it.
It is. No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain is right. And I think for me, even a few weeks back when I had gone for the vaccination, I was really impressed by the efficiency of the whole process.
Oh, it's been remarkable. The beginning was difficult. It seemed chaotic and a mess, but when you show up for your shot, it really runs very smoothly. It's a testament to the folks who are running it. I think most people have been satisfied with their experience in getting the vaccine.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the one drawback where if anybody had a reason to be hesitant about it, it was like, well, it's not going to be convenient. I'm going to be there forever. And those are there's
there's still some hesitancy for different reasons. I think people will get more comfortable, if they see family and friends getting the vaccine without any problems. I think they'll be less hesitant.
Yeah. All right, you're going to get a look at the BFA side-by-side cam as Schofield continues to work. Swing and a miss. He gets Smith and strikes him out. So now 1 down here in the third as Kings Christian able to turn over the lineup, and they go back to the top. And that's with Logan Brown, who grounded out the third in his first at-bat. There is Logan Brown. That pitch is up. Now Schofield continues to work. Checks the runner. That ball is down and misses. And Brown works himself ahead 2-0. So, Doc, you've been working nonstop for the better part of a year. I mean, any chance are you getting a vacation or going away anytime soon? Hopefully.
My family just planned a vacation for the end of July.
Awesome.
First one in a while. I think that'll be good timing.
That ball is hammered foul down the right field side. Some joined in the booth by Dr. James Ronfola, the personal physician of Kings Christian coach John Scanzano, and Doc was honored as one of our frontline workers and heroes to kick off this Thank You Classic. For those of you that hadn't had a chance, I strongly recommend that you look up the piece that Kevin Minnick had wrote about this story. And that ball gets away, and that's going to allow Lenahan to cruise into second base here with 1 out in third. So that story that Kevin Minnick had written, it featured Dr. Ronfola because of a message and a lesson, and I think all good coaches are always trying to share a good lesson or story, and that tale certainly is a big one because for those that are battling Doc or they think they've battled COVID and they're in the clear, it's like it kind of works differently for everybody.
Yeah. Many folks do okay when they first get sick, and then into the second week things turn south. They think they're past it, and they've got to be careful and keep in touch with their provider about when it's time to get a little more aggressive with the approach to treatment and management. That happened to Coach Scanzano. I think it caught him by surprise.
Big time. He never thought at his age he'd be walking around with an oxygen tank for a period of time.
No.
And I think that's the one takeaway for a lot of people. And he had mentioned it too. He thought, well, is it really as serious as people are saying? And he kind of downplayed a lot of it. And then even when he was sick, he was downplaying it.
Yeah. We all like to believe we're gonna avoid certain things like that. I mean, I'm sure I do the same. But so many folks have been caught with this one that never thought that they'd be one of the victims.
Yeah, it's amazing how it impacts or affects everybody a bit different. That ball's blocked. Nice shot by McGinley. He's going to keep Lenahan at bay as Jake Cheeseman continues to battle here against Schofield. And the shortstop, after flashing the leather, is 0 for 1 on the evening as he grounded out to short. And Schofield going to throw the ball back. We got all kinds of trickeration going on. Pulling out all the stops between these. How come it's a newfound rivalry? And so I got to ask producer Ryan Schumacher, is that fog, or is that just like the lighting?
That's how dusty the backboard has gotten.
Okay, how dusty the backboard has gotten. Fair enough.
We're gonna get another fog game in Philly metro area.
That ball misses down. And that there is a called strike. Now a full count to Jake Cheeseman. That pitch punches him out, called strike on the corner. Gets him looking, and that's the second strikeout of the inning for Schofield. And that'll bring up the senior, Cale McGill. All right, and it looks like a brief visit to the hill. Coach Smith wants to talk things over. Delsea hanging on to a 1-0 lead, wants to make sure everybody's on the same page, especially knowing what McGill can do with the bat. Again, so Dr. Unfola, for these guys that are out here kind of playing and now they're starting to assimilate back into school for a lot of them, anything that you would recommend that they do on a regular basis from a kid standpoint?
Yeah, don't let your guard down when you're with your buddies and with your friends. Just if you're not vaccinated, keep your masks on when you're in your cars. Follow the recommendations of each of your schools. You know, they don't have as much chance of getting seriously ill, but their loved ones can. So they're really trying to stay safe for their loved ones too.
All right, good piece of advice there. Schofield delivers to McGill. That one way foul down the right field side. Kings, great opportunity here with 2 outs to try to tie this one up as they got runners at first and second. And McGill hits a shot up the middle. What a play! Absolutely phenomenal defense by Max Van Alken. Somehow he comes up with the baseball, gets the force out at second to end the threat, and that'll end the third inning of play. Outstanding. We've seen 2 shortstops standing on their head, and my oh my, Cheeseman for Kings and now Van Alken. And we will step away briefly here as we head to the top of the 4th. Be back from Walt Nicgorski. And it is the 4th inning. We got Delsea versus Kings Christian. The Crusaders coming at bat here, and due up is Mike McGinley, Steve Schofield, and the web gem himself, Max Van Alken, who just ended the last frame with that fabulous play at short. And here is the catcher, Mike McGinley. First pitch offering from Cale McGill is in for a ball. McGill goes back to work. That one gets away from him. Now 2-0 to the catcher, McGinley. So McGinley, as a freshman in his first varsity at bat, hit the home run. So he is a guy that has some pop in that frame, and albeit got a little bit of growing he's still going to be able to do and put some more pounds on that frame, he can already swing it. And he's going to earn a free trip down to first base, but I guess it's not really free. No such thing as a free lunch there, Doc. I don't think he's going to require any ice for that pitch, but nonetheless, it's going to bring up the pitcher, Steve Schofield. And a bunt. Seems to be a theme here as we're trying to matriculate runners around the field, but that one will be foul. So Coach Joe Smith, never afraid to play small ball and trying to capitalize on getting a leadoff runner with nobody out here in the fourth. As many ground balls have been actually put into play here, Doc. This is a pretty strong move from a strategy standpoint. You a fan
I
of the
agree.
small ball?
I am actually. You know, manufactured runs.
Yeah, Coach Joe Smith trying to play to his strength, put some pressure on the defense. His dives back into the bag. Again, joined in the booth by Dr. James Runfola. And there is the square. Throw down to second base and not going to get there. Nice throw by Bonaccio. But nice hard slide into the bag. And that is going to get yet another Crusader into scoring position. So be interesting to see if we're going to take off the bunt sign here. Ball in the dirt. Bonaccio throws down to third. He's got the throw. He's got the tag, and he's got the out. So Kevin Beers able to bear down on the squeeze. What a heck of a throw by Mikey Bonaccio. And we're seeing some really good defense here. All right, now 1-2 count to Schofield after McGinley is caught trying to steal third base. Pitch, Bonaccio trying to sell that one. A little too far outside. Give him credit, though, for trying to bring it back in. All right, now 2-2 from McGill. McGill fires the ball. That one to short. Cheeseman reaches, throws. That's a little too high. But what an outstanding stop again. Jake Cheeseman. I'll tell you what. He has gotten to some balls that your average shortstop is just not going to be able to. Reaches back. The throw is a little bit high, but, man, did that look good. So, kind of looking around the booth. I don't know, guys. Is that a infield single?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Infield single it is.
I don't know, man.
Because Max Van Alken grounded out to short his first at bat. He now digs in with one out here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. McGill gets in the chase up and away. All right, now McGill checks the runner. He fires. That ball is fouled over the third base dugout. Great hands. Is that Coach Oriente over there? I think Dewey was able to get it done. Now 1-2 is the count to Max Van Alken. McGill fires. Can't entice him to swing at the high heat. Shout out to JT Kroger, always covering New Jersey baseball. You can see him with the cell phone behind the plate, and that one's hammered foul to the third base side. Again, JT Kroger, want to thank him for his coverage of the Thank You Classic, and also a scout for the Cincinnati Reds, as he has been camped out front and center all day long, gentlemen. He shows up an hour and a half before any other coach or scout, always to get his spot. That ball fouled out of play on right field side. So if there's one thing that Van Alken is doing besides showing the leather today, it's ringing up Coach John Scanzano's bill when it comes to baseballs. As another one goes into a yard here at Walt Nicgorski, Pennsauken Township. We were joined earlier by Mayor DiBattista. Swing and a miss. He gets some swinging. And that there is a interference swing and a miss. So not only is Van Alken out, but they also call Schofield out on the bases as an interference. So you don't see that every day, and so much so that Coach Joe Smith wants to have a brief dialogue, and I don't think he's asking him about where he might be going to grab something to eat after the game. So it is still 1-0. I want to thank Dr. James Ronfola for joining us, Doc. You know, wishing you nothing but the best, and thank you for your service and all the things that you've done, and especially the very close to home, because Coach John Scanzano is a very dear friend of mine, and he's a man that has a heart of gold and has done a lot for so many kids.
He's a great guy. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to come out here and enjoy this. This is actually my first outdoor activity since COVID started.
No
honestly,
kidding.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's a nice way to get things going.
That is awesome.
And it's a great defensive game now.
Yeah. No.
The pitchers are holding up, and
yeah, they're it's a pitcher's duel. I was kind of shocked. I thought we'd see a little bit more in the fireworks department, but we'll see how things wane on here. But again, I want to thank you for joining us. Absolutely outstanding.
It was my absolute pleasure. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That is Dr. James Ronfola. And we continue to deal here in the fantastic confines of the Walt Nicgorski Park. And we're going to step aside as Schofield gets ready for another inning of action. And matter of fact, that ball already went down to second base, so I guess we're not going anywhere other than probably running up copyright claims, since this music plays nonstop in between the innings. All right. And away we go. So we're going to head now to the bottom of the fourth as Kings Christian comes back to the plate. And this is the first baseman, Isaiah Andruzzi. And Andruzzi swings through and misses on his first pitch. Swing and miss offering from Steven Schofield. And this one is an interesting nail biter. Again, thought we would have seen some bats all over the place, but that hasn't played out. And one of the busiest guys in all the land in South Jersey, at least this weekend, is Billy Gore, head of the South Jersey Baseball Coaches Association and the Walt Disney of the Thank You Classic, as he dreamed this one up about a year ago. So he'll be joining us soon enough in the booth as well. A swing and a miss, and he struck him out. So Schofield continues to dazzle. So now Schofield, after recording his 7th strikeout of the evening, he's now going to face Kevin Beer, a guy who struck out against him back in the second. And it's already, that foul pitch makes it a 1-strike count. Schofield winds and fires, misses low on that one. You know, again, JT Kroger in the house, still there behind home plate. Mentioned that just a short time ago. But the ball got put into play, so I want to thank JT for helping get the good word out about all these fine players from throughout the state. And certainly outlast the rest of the scouts that were here for the Anthony Salamito pitching display, which was electric, as he had 11 strikeouts in just 5 innings of work, as that one was shortened, and a bit of shock as the Bishop Eustace Crusaders put up a 10-0 shutout, and that ball is grounded over to the third base side, and a Bit of a weird hop, but no play to be made. So Ryan Harrison and Max Van Alken decided to be better off to play for another out, and that'll get Beer to first base. So now Carson McGill will climb in, 0 for 1 on the evening. Schofield tries to catch Beer sleeping, but he proves he's still awake. Absolutely outstanding. A defensive showcase here as that ball is hit into left field just off the third base chalk. And wouldn't you know it, Carson McGill, after a base knock, we got runners at first and second. So Kings in a position to try to tie this game as the power hitting Mike Bonaccio, catcher, decides to take a sign from his coach. And my guess is told him to hit the ball. He squares the bunt. And he does. He gets it down, but that ball is going to roll foul. So Bonaccio, not a guy you would anticipate or expect to see him turn around and square the bunt, but he does. He fouls it off, however. Still have runners at first and second. It's Beer at second, Carson McGill at first. Get a look at top the dugout. And, oh, they try to catch Beer sleeping. He's just going to make his mom angry. He's safe, but the uniform just got dirty. All right, so now Bonaccio still with one strike. Feels like he's been up there for the last 10 minutes, but they've only thrown him one pitch. Here comes Schofield. That ball misses low and away. Evens the count at 1. Now, still 1-1. That breaking pitch is left upstairs. Two and 1 to Bonaccio. Swing and a miss. So now Bonaccio going to step out, try to reset. Mike McGinley giving out some catching signs as they defend the scenario. Runners at first and second. And now the cat and mouse game as Bonaccio asks for time and he steps out of the box. The old, I know you are, but what am I? Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So he gets the power swinging Bonaccio, his second strikeout of the inning, his 8th on the evening. So Schofield wastes no time. Jack Lenahan, he chops one over to short. They're going to get the lead runner of choice. And Van Alken continues with a heads-up defensive play, and that'll end the Kings Christian threat. And just like that, we're going to head to the top of the 5th. And when we come back, we'll be joined by the chair of the Thank You Classic, Mr. Billy Gore. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, and we're back. First pitch here in the top of the fifth from Cale McGill is in for, I believe, a called strike as he continues to work at a feverish pace. That one fouled straight back. Let's see what we got here. And that pitch now down low. And I'm now joined in the booth by the head of the Thank You Classic, Mr. Bill Gore.
I'm good.
Bill,
Yo,
great to see you, man. What an awesome event this is turning out to be.
appreciate that. Been a pretty wild day so far.
Yeah, lots of good baseball.
A lot of good baseball today. I mean, I was only at the one field, but following it on social media and everything, man, wow. I can't even imagine what it, I mean, I imagined it, but.
Well, I mean, and as Ryan Harrison ends up striking out now 0-2 on the day, and that'll bring up left fielder Landon Burns. So he attempted to bunt his first at bat, and McGill hits him on the arms. That's a hit by pitch. He'll earn his way down to first base. Last year, as everything was shut down, I know this was something that was, in your head,
right,
things of what you wanted to do. You even reached out to me and said, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do I think?" And I was like, "Hey,
right,
it's an outstanding idea."
Yeah.
And now you have.
So when we first talked, I was like, 16 teams. Okay, let's go.
Right.
And start going and reaching out to people and, okay, 32. All right, let's go. And then starts reaching out into, outside South Jersey, and you get some more teams and, some more recognition of, I mean, I saw Somerville today over at Brooklyn today, and, man, it was impressive. Yeah. I mean, they did lose to Delran, but it was a good game, a 6-3 game. But it was a fun game to watch, It was just good baseball to watch, and having teams like that, Toms River North, Middletown South, I mean, all the credit in the world to that guy. They weren't even in until Friday. I mean, unfortunately, we had some issues that we needed to replace a team because of, everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, having some relationships with some people, it didn't even take 24 hours. I was like, man, this is awesome. And from what I'm understanding, that was a great game, which makes me, very, very happy and everything. And, I mean, you setting this up, a year ago now, you can't even imagine it. I mean, I was asked today, Josh Friedman from the Courier, he's asking me, how am I feeling about it? I'm like, at the time I was like, 56 teams, this is awesome and everything like that. And now, coming here, hearing about the amount of people that were here for the last game, with Bishop Eustace, and then talking to some people here, talking to people that are at Brooklyn, you get a little emotional because you put all this work into it, and, like, it's just awesome. I mean,
That ball deep to center field, but getting underneath of it is going to be Carson McGill. So ball goes right to McGill. Waste no time. Some of the balls have been carrying here at the hitter-friendly Walt Nicgorski Field. So, Bill, to your left is Dr. James Runfola, who is one of the honorees and, the personal physician
Congrats.
of Coach Scanzano. And that's the other piece, too. It's like the way that this all kind of started to play out, you wanted to talk about being able to recognize first responders, but with the COVID,
absolutely,
the whole dynamic kind of opened up, and who the heroes are in our first responders and frontline workers. Amazing.
Spread between, I mean, obviously you get the nurses and the doctors and everything like that. I mean, I for those who don't, I coach at Gloucester Catholic and everything. We picked a teacher at our school, and then we picked a retired police chief. But just the appreciation of everybody who's been recognized these first 2 days is just unbelievable. And I mean, like, yeah, recognizing everybody's, what we wanted to do, but, like, the appreciation and everything of it is, like, second to none. I mean, I have nothing but all the respect in the world to everything that, Billy and everybody over for the Coaches versus Cancer did and have done for many, many years. But, I mean, this is just unbelievable.
So big-time poke right there by Frankie Master as he lifts one into left field. That one ends up being an RBI. The Crusaders now stretch the lead to 2. It's 2-0, and that'll bring us back to the top of the batting order with Luca Gebhard. And that was a big-time clutch spot by the 9-hole hitter. Leads to that RBI.
Hey, Doug, real quick, I just want to say I've never seen this actually in person, your broadcast and everything. It's unbelievable.
Well, we appreciate it, man.
I mean, I sat behind the plate last week at the Coaches versus Cancer. I really didn't notice it as well as I am right now. This is insane. I mean, like, just watching this and everything that you guys are doing and everything. I mean, it's I have nothing but appreciation for what you guys do for us in South Jersey and everything, and it's top of the line.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's sometimes I'm not real good with trying to take accolades, but I got a lot of phenomenal people that have been a part of our organization who really
I don't even know this gentleman in front of me, but he was here last week and he's here this week. I understand his dedication.
Yeah, Ryan Schumacher.
It's awesome.
So he's one of the guys that makes the magic happen behind the scenes for us.
Nice.
I think the cool part is you mentioned that a big part of our crew, especially in the summer, they're all ex-South Jersey baseball players.
Even better.
Most of them don't know a thing about how to operate a camera or how any of the technical.
But they know what we're looking for in baseball.
Yeah, they have the coach's view, as I like to call it.
Great.
So Gebhard earns the free pass to first base. And again, joined in the booth by Thank You Classic founder, director of Chaos, a lot of other titles.
I like Chaos. I like Chaos.
Is Billy Gore. And it looks like King's Christian is going to take a moment to regroup and think about this scenario that we have as Gebhard. He just made his way down to first base, and it looks like that's going to leave us with runners at first and second when play resumes, I believe. So talk about what else we have on tap. So it's not over, man. There's another full day of baseball.
We got another 10 more games. 4 here at Walt Nicgorski Field, 3 at Joe Barth, 3 at the Mid-Atlantic Complex. Got a couple pretty good matchups. 1 at Mid-Atlantic tomorrow between Jackson Memorial and Kingsway. 1 at Joe Barth between Cherokee and St. Joe Metuchen. And then here you have Holy Spirit taking on St. Mary's Rutherford. St. Mary's Rutherford is about as far north as you can get in this state.
Yeah.
So nothing but appreciation for Coach Den and the Gales up there for coming down here. I look forward to actually getting here on time tomorrow to thank him personally. I've had the opportunity to coach against him a couple times, so nothing but respect.
Good hard hit ball through the right side. Jake Watson going to get another RBI for the Crusaders, and they are pumped up. So if this was Hans and Franz in a Saturday Night Live skit, you would be seeing them all kinds of fired up over there. So 3-0 now, Crusaders, as Jake Watson, the latest Delsea player to record the RBI.
Doug, when you have a chance, I do want to break some news to you.
Oh, I like news, man. So runners at the corners, first and third. Let's see who we got here. This is Mike McGinley, the freshman catcher. And, he's kind of one of those prime examples of why we love so much of what we do. So here's a guy that in his first high school varsity at bat crushes the ball, hits a home run. I mean, it's like storybook stuff.
Absolutely.
So breaking news, other than the umpire completely blocking the strike zone right now.
So we will be releasing the last.
Oh, another ball hits into the right field side. I thought that one was going foul, but it drops in. And just like that, another RBI, and now make that 4-0. It's McGinley. Sorry about that, Bill.
No problem. No problem. So we will be releasing our last South Jersey Baseball Coaches Association poll pre-Diamond Classic this Wednesday.
Wow.
We will proceed to Saturday. Saturday, as a association, we will be meeting what we call our conference reps, and our executive committee will be meeting Saturday night after all the games are played to finalize our top 20. So everybody understands this year we are going to be doing the Diamond Classic bids via this top 20. What happens is our 10 conference bids go to those teams, and then after that we wipe those teams out of the top 20 and get our 6 at-large teams from that. After that, those teams will be seeded by the newspaper reporters, Kevin Minnick, Josh Friedman, and Mike McGarry, and we should have the bracket Sunday.
So
next Sunday.
Diamond Classic bracket will be ready to go next Sunday.
Yes.
Wow, that is outstanding.
With the anticipation of games starting on Monday. As early as Monday.
As early as Monday.
Yeah.
So Sunday night announcements, possible playing the games on Monday.
Right.
And the games are going to be played at the location of the higher seed.
Highest seed. Highest seed for at least the first 2 rounds, possibly 3.
Okay.
And the championship game this year will be taking place at Alcyon Park in Pittman on May 26th at 6 p.m.
All right, we're looking forward to broadcasting on
Yes,
BFA
sir.
Live Sports.
Yes, sir.
So
Anybody who's never been to Alcyon Park,
it's
it is
beautiful.
one of the most beautiful complexes in South Jersey and a great place to watch a baseball game. Hopefully you guys can make it out, and it's something to enjoy, especially with the Diamond Classic final. If you've never seen a Diamond Classic game, it's something different.
Yeah, there's a different degree of electricity in the air for that.
Absolutely. If you were here today for the Eustis game, you might want to turn it up a notch.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be something that we're all going to enjoy. I can't wait. That's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a baseball guy. I think anybody who knows me knows that. I live my life through baseball. This has been awesome, and I love every minute of it, and I will continue doing it. But the Diamond Classic has become kind of like a second child to me. And I really take pride in that tournament, and really hope that this year's tournament, with the change in the picking the teams and everything, is something that's going to be enjoyable to everybody involved in South Jersey baseball, and really looking forward to these last couple of weeks of the high school season going into the playoffs.
All right, and so there's a new pitcher on the hill for the Crusaders of Delsea, and that is number 14, David Kane. So Kane will face Will Smith. Smith currently 0 for 1 on the day. And that ball there is taken. So it's 1-1.
One last thing before I go. Anybody who is interested in a Thank You Classic T-shirt, if you have not been to a game, come tomorrow. We have plenty of them for sale. If not, reach out to us on social media. We have a Twitter page on Classic Thank. They are $15. There's a possibility we may drop it down a little bit just to get them out. So thank you to everybody who's been involved throughout the weekend. It's been a great so far the event, and appreciate everybody doing what they've done to make this event what it's done so far.
Outstanding. So, again, you can go at Classic Thank on Twitter. Make sure you grab those shirts. That ball is popped up. Logan Brown. That one gets out of play there. And want to thank Bill Gore, the director and founder of the Thank You Classic, for joining us up here in the booth. And as he had mentioned, 10 more games on the docket, so be sure to check social media. We're going to have 4 of those games right here on BFA Live Sports tomorrow as well. And Logan Brown down 0-1 after Will Smith was retired via strikeout. So David Kane off and running. That ball fouled down and out of play over the right field side. Winds and fires. That ball misses. Now 1-2. Another foul ball, this time down the third base side. So Logan Brown continues the battle, and Kings Christian going to have to go to work here as they try to spark a rally here in the bottom of the fifth at Walt Nicgorski Field. Swing and a miss. That was nasty. David Kane. That pitch there, just about as unhittable as you can describe. That's his second consecutive strikeout of the frame. And now Jake Cheeseman, 0 for 2 on the evening. But as he fouls one down the third base side, Cheeseman been flashing the leather time and again over at shortstop for Kings Christian. And with 2 outs, trying to get something going here. Fouls the next pitch offering from Kane. All right, and here we go. And he lifts one into left field. Is that one going to drop? No. Good play out there by Iolucci. Steals a possible single and eliminates a potential spark here in the bottom of the fifth. All right, and we are headed to the top of the sixth. It's a 4-0 lead for the Crusaders. And leading things off in this frame is number 9, and that is Max Van Alken. First Cale McGill pitch is up and in for a ball. And he lifts that one, goes out into right center field, and it's going to drop for another Crusader hit. He's going to try to stretch it in for 2, but thinks better of it. So the Crusaders continuing to have a bit of a hot bat. And that was the first hit of the evening for Van Alken. And now Ryan Harrison. He'll dig in. 0 for... Actually, that's now David Kane, who has been inserted into the lineup. So David Kane now in the lineup for the Crusaders as well as pitching. He squares the bunt. Oh, what an outstanding effort by Mikey Bonaccio. Just missed potentially needing some medical assistance by Dr. James Ronfola, but luckily no damage done. Good hustle play, though, by the catcher. And that ball is hit up the middle, and that's going to get past Cheeseman for another base knock. So back-to-back base hits for Delsea. Now runners at first and second as number 7, Landon Burns, steps to the plate. So far he's attempted a bunt that was put out by McGill, and he was hit by a pitch in his last appearance. All right, and you can hear the chants of bring him in. It's the instructions that they're trying to encourage the left fielder to execute. He bunts, misses the attempt. So still Coach Joe Smith not putting away the small tool kit just yet, as they're going to try to continue to put pressure on the infield. And he drops the bunt. No play at third, and guess what? Too late at first. They have bunted their way on, and now the base is loaded. So you can appreciate the fact that Kevin Beer wanted to make sure or try to prevent the runner from advancing, but he had nowhere to go. So Chris Ialucci, he hammers the ball foul over to the third base side. Ialucci steps to the plate with the bases loaded. Pitch outside. Cale McGill was looking for a second opinion, as if he got bad news from a doctor on that pitch. Take a look as the bases are juiced. Now 3-1 to Ialucci. Nobody out. It's a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch from McGill. That ball is popped straight up out of play. Bonaccio is hopeful that it might come back in, but that's not going to be the case. And he walks him in. So that'll play to run. And some high fives, and now the Delsea lead 5-0. That ball slices through the left side of the field. Another base knock, and another run's going to cross the plate. So Luca Gebhard's going to step up. Another run's going to cross, and it looks like John Scanzano electing to change things up after Delsea stretching their lead to 6 here. See where Coach Scanzano is going to go with the ball. As Cale McGill gets a nice round of applause. And it looks like King's Christian is going to go to Isaiah Andruzzi as the southpaw starts to warm up and give him a different look here. And when he does get ready to face a batter, he is going to face them with the bases loaded. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Just thank you, Classic, for watching BFA Live Sports up top of Walt Nicgorski Field. I'm Doug Stasic. My brother from another, Al Fisher, is on assignment. He'll be back tomorrow. I want to thank our crew as we got a break in the action. Our producer all day today has been Ryan Schumacher. Senior camera operator Charles Hope, continuing to give us some great shots, along with my wonderful and beautiful wife, Missy Stasic, who, despite probably being more hungover than she'd like me to say on the air after that wedding last night, has been on third base camera all day and done a fantastic job. And Cody Higginbotham Skywalker over there on the first base side. Want to thank our crew. They can't hear that. Unless they watch it back, because I say that live on air. But everybody's listening to me say this. All right. And so, Andruzzi is ready to go. And there's still nobody out here in the top of the sixth as the bases remain full. Benaccio, going to wish him the best of luck. All right, and that's going to bring up Luca Gebhard. So Gebhard in the leadoff spot and the center fielder for Delsea. First pitch down in the dirt, 1-0. Really what the Knights need here is a grounder to try to at least get two. The old 2-for-1 ground ball. Winds and fires, swing and a miss. Good pitch there, and Andruzzi keeping it down in the zone, which is a beautiful thing. As he winds and fires, he reaches out the bunt. Benaccio. Gets him. So nice call there. Sorry on the delay call by me. It was kind of obstructed in the view, but that's a big out there. Is now runners at first and second. Benaccio catches him off guard. Luca Gebhard still battling down 1-2 to Andruzzi. Oh, that breaking pitch didn't break. Left that one upstairs. Here we go. Kicks and fires. Hammers the ball to second. To short and not in time, but at least a fielder's choice. So Logan Brown gets the ball over to Jake Cheeseman. And that'll be the second out of the inning. But that'll leave runners at the corners. All right, so now bring up Jake Watson. Watson 1 for 3 on the evening with an RBI. Doing a nice job out there in right field. And Drewsy fires. He misses. And again, we got the umpire in the C position right in the middle of the BFA strike zone. Well, they didn't see the BFA Sports banners or the multiple announcements that are happening all day. That there's a camera out in center field. I don't know what else. Maybe we could hire a plane with an advertising banner tomorrow. It says, "Stay out of the C position shot. We appreciate it." I wonder what that would cost me. Maybe we should do that. You want to try to see if he's actually paying attention? You're in the shot. You can probably see me actually doing the hand gesture. That ball is hammered foul down the first base side. A little bit of a defensive alignment shift, too, as Carson McGill is now at first base. Now with a 1-2 count and 2 outs, it's Andruzzi versus Watson. He winds and fires. He fouls it off again. So a good battle here in the 6th, as Andruzzi has done a real nice job coming in a hard spot with the bases loaded and nobody out. And winds and fires. Fouls that one out of play. Man, my wife does not look happy. I just got a shot of her on that camera. Man, I am never going to hear the end of this one today. All right, now 1-2. Fires. Misses away. So Southpaw versus Southpaw. And a good battle with the count even at 2 with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Now he winds and fires again. Misses upstairs. So Andruzzi changing tempo. And that ball misses. Coach Smith going to hold the runner at third, and that's going to reload the bases as Watson now makes his way to first base, and the 3-hole hitter, freshman catcher Mike McGinley. He's going to be next to battle it out, and You see a meeting of the King's Christian minds out there at first base. Or the pitcher's mound. Sorry, I'm a little, it's been a long day. All right, and that is Mike McGinley. First pitch in and misses. Again, he fires. That ball's popped up over towards right field, and they're going to make the play. So a little bit interesting, but he sticks with it and just long enough to put the squeeze on. And now we will head to the bottom of the sixth. King's Christian down 6, looking to cut into this lead. We'll be back. All right, and David Kane back on the hill for the Crusaders, holding on to a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the sixth, and trying to spark a rally for King's Christian is number 4, and that's Cale McGill. So McGill is 1 for 2. He's doubled and grounded out to short. Oh, big time hack there. And McGill drives one out into right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Now McGill, he is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Now stepping in will be the new pitcher, and that is Isaiah Andruzzi. Started this game off at first, and now nice job in the last inning to get King's Christian out of a jam. As he dives back into the bag, and McGill getting dirty. Kane not going to get him. And now Kane. That ball is left outside. Winds and fires. Ball down in the dirt. And now a conference on the hill for Delsea, and not quite sure why, as let's be real, Kane has done done a nice job in relief here. So perhaps some instructions as they try to navigate through the waters of the heart of this Kings Christian lineup. As Andruzzi's down the count 2-0. Very much could be a stall tactic there by Coach Smith, but I do not see any action in the Delsea bullpen. All right, perhaps Kane talking about what might be a good flavor of ice cream after this one. And that ball is lined into center field. Now runners at first and second as Andruzzi with a nice shot up the middle. So whatever Coach Joe Smith told him, it didn't work. All right, now Kevin Beer, the third baseman who struck out and reached on an error. He's going to try to keep this rally going and put a crooked number up for Kings Christian. Nice block there by the catcher, McGinley. Ball bounced right back up. As Beer steps back in the box. He winds and fires. Now 2-0. Ball's fouled out of play. Pitch missed. 3-1. Ball misses down, and Beer. He makes his way to first base, so don't look now. But Kings Christian, with nobody out, has loaded the bases here in the sixth. All right, now digging in is Carson McGill. 1 for 2 on the evening. Kane, he fires and gets McGill on a swing and miss. Winds and fires again. And there's a shot into left field. That one is going to score 1 run. That run's going to score 2. That's a 2 RBI single when they needed it the most. And Carson McGill, he comes up clutch. And wouldn't you know it, one of the RBIs scores his brother. So now the lead shrinking down. It's now just 6-2. Now Coach John Scanzano comes out, have a discussion with the umpire, and can only assume that we're making a change here as umpire Chris Losey tries to give me a call. Also part of the BFA Sports crew, but he was umpiring this fine Saturday. And all right, and so we got a pinch hitting situation. And this is number 6 for Kings Christian. Kane's first pitch in. That misses. And mystery caller is going to find my updated roster. Big hack, swing and a miss. Kane trying to settle down, holding on to a 4-run lead, still with nobody out. Runners at first and second. That ball is up. Still thinking they're riding out Kane as no action in the bullpen. That ball misses on the corner, and that is ball number 4. So they're going to reload the bases. And finally, looks like they're going to go and make a pitching change. So nice job there by David Kane. And now they're going to hand the ball to number 26, George Starr. Starr was in the game already as the second baseman. But now they're going to change things up. And matter of fact, as we're throwing some warm-up pitches, we'll step aside here for a quick second.
I wanted the RK customers to get the best possible deal, so I hired Sean Brady.
The MMA fighter?
That's the most I can give you for your trade. If I was crazy, I'm gonna give you more, of course.
New 2021 Select models with 0% financing for 63 months, and you get RK coverage. That's ding, tire, wheel, and windshield repair. No charge.
At RK,
The customer is always right.
RK Subaru of Vineland.
All right, and we're warmed up and ready to go as George Starr takes over the pitching duties with nobody out and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. And Jack Lenahan represents the tying run for Kings Christian. His first pitch from Starr is fouled out of play. He takes that called pitch for a ball. Winds and fires yet again. Paints it on a corner. Fires again. One more time. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So he gets Lenahan swinging. So still bases loaded, one out, And away we go. Now 0-2. They said that one missed the corner. Now 0-2 with the bases loaded to Devin Bennett. And he punches him out. That pitch was pretty. So put another K in the book. As George Starr is shining in relief right now as we get back to the top of the order. And that's Logan Brown. First pitch offering from Starr is fouled back out of play. Logan Brown has walked, struck out, and grounded out thus far this evening. And he hammers that ball. Tough hop. Going to be a tough play, and they're not going to have a play, but they end up calling everybody safe. So crazy chopper for sure. And that's going to put another run on the board, so that'll be an infield RBI single for Brown. And that's still going to leave the bases loaded. First pitch, asking if he swung. They say he did not. So Jake Cheeseman now with an opportunity to continue to carve into this lead. Looking for his first hit of the day as he fouls that offering. Now 1-1. So resetting the stage here. It's bases loaded. 2 outs. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at home plate. And that is Jake Cheeseman, who has been standing on his head like an NHL goaltender defensively over at shortstop all night long. Oh, and he got him sleeping. And I think there's still a question, and they might have called a balk. I think that's what he's calling. So there's going to be a dialogue and discussion. So they're going to step aside. This one's not as clear-cut as you might have thought. So Delsea believes they have the runner picked off at second base. And they're calling him out. So nothing better than a group discussion. And that's going to get one dugout fired up and the other one, well, fired up in a different way. And so now there's more dialogue that's ongoing. We're trying to understand what exactly had transpired, but it's simple. There's a play made off the mound to second base. The debate was it a balk? Was it an out? Umpires confer, and it takes us now to the top of the 7th as Coach Scanzano, I think that's Coach Scanzano. I can't see down there. Is it Dewey Orienti? Coach, I think it's Coach Dewey trying out for the King's Christian debate team, trying to win this argument with the umpire, but I don't look like he's going to make that one. So we will step aside. It's 6-3. Delsea, you're watching the Thank You Classic on BFA Live Sports. And we're in the top of the 7th. You are watching the Thank You Classic live on BFA Sports. Appreciate you tuning in, and please do us a favor. Subscribe to that YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at This Week in Baseball South Jersey at TWI Baseball SJ. This is the final frame of these Saturday games. And we'll be right back at it tomorrow afternoon. We got Egg Harbor Township versus Brick Memorial. And that game will go off at 11 a.m. So we're now going to go in to the top of the 7th. And the pitcher who started the game, at least, was Steven Schofield. Done a real nice job. And now Schofield digs in to try to hit here. Nice pitch by Andruzzi, and Schofield swing and a miss. That pitch misses away. It's now a 1-1 count. Oh, looks like he was going to square to bunt, but that's a called strike. Now 1-2. Winds and fires. And he pokes that one into center field, and it gets over the head. We're going to round the bases. Schofield's going to hold up at second base, and he's pretty fired up about it. A lot of animation. So tough one there, and sometimes it's not easy to play the game at night, especially with some low lights. All right, now still nobody out. Runner at second base. Turns and squares, pops it up, but that one is going to fall to the wayside. And I believe now we got a catcher in Cale McGill. So he's probably trying to play every position on the field at some point tonight. Andruzzi winds and delivers. That ball misses inside, but a good scoop there by Cale McGill. Shout out to his Uncle Rob, if maybe he's watching at one of his fine watering hole establishments up in New York City. Wishing him nothing but the best. Understand a new blessing and yet another daughter. So go figure. So congratulations, Rob. Hope all is well. My old partner back when we were running things in a restaurant back in Galloway. We were growing up. All right, now 3-2, full count to the shortstop, Van Alken. And Drewsy fires, leaves that one upstairs, and it's a hard 90 after the walk. All right, so that's going to bring up David Kane. Came into this game as a relief pitcher. Did a nice job keeping the... He squares the bunt. Breaking pitch stays upstairs. He pops it up the bunt. That one's going to drop. Going to be a tough play. McGill's going to make one, however. He gets him out. 2-3 put out to first, but that sacrifice will move the runner over. So now runners at second and third. And that's now Landon Burns. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. He drops the bunt. It's small ball night out here at Walt Nicgorski, and he's going to make his way. Well, we got a ball that gets away, and it's going to score another run. So the Crusaders looking to put pressure on Kings Christian by forcing them to make some plays defensively, and that chaos has ensued and forced another run across the plate. But we do have one out. So Chris Ialucci, he steps in. He's reached on an error and walked. Had an RBI and a run scored this evening. That ball's left upstairs. And Andruzzi trying to change up the tempo. Now 2-1. That pitch misses down. Now 3-1. He's going to check the runner. And again, a 8-3 lead here in the top of the seventh. Pitch is up. And not going to get it done, so he makes his way down to first. Runners now at first and second. As Frankie Master takes the first pitch offering from Andruzzi. That one misses. It's 1-0. Now 2-1. Runner goes. Ball gets by, and they're not going to have to challenge Burns on that one. Runners move up now 2nd and 3rd on the wild pitch. And Frankie Master now with a 3-1 count. Master hammers one foul. And they're going to just keep running. Looks like 2 more runs will score. And a fine piece of hitting, RBI style. Frankie Master remains hot with the bat. All right, now we're going to call a timeout. Try to reset the process here from a hitting standpoint. Defensively, going to try to come up with another game plan. They are rowdy in the Delsea dugout. And we're back to the top of the order as Luca Gebhardt. He now, with a 1-0 count, is Frankie Master, the sole base runner at 2nd. Swings through and he misses. And he lifts that one, foul territory and out of real estate over on the right side. That one goes over the fence. Well, that one got away from him, and that's going to allow the runner to sneak up to 3rd base. So Master just 90 feet away from yet another run. And he punches him out. Not really sure what he was waiting for there, but all right, now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. He pops that one up. And looks like the squeeze out there in shallow left field. And now that'll end this half of the frame. Kings Christian heads back into the dugout. Their final opportunity here in the bottom of the 7th. They're down 7. We'll be back from Walt Nicgorski.
I wanted the arcade customers to get the best possible deal, so I hired Sean Brady.
The MMA fighter?
That's the most I can give you for your trade. If I was crazy, I'll give you more, of course.
New 2021 Select models with 0% financing for 63 months. And you get RK coverage. That's ding, tire, wheel, and windshield repair. No charge.
At RK,
The customer is always right.
RK Subaru of Vineland.
All right, it is time for the bottom of the 7th. Kings Christian down a touchdown in this one. Going to try to get the 2-minute offense rolling. And that's going to start with the shortstop, Jake Cheeseman. So head into, could be close to our 12th hour of broadcasting this fine Saturday in just a few minutes. Shout out to Greg out there in Florida who's watching his beloved Kings Christian squad. Also a member of the A2D radio family. So appreciate you tuning in there, Coach Greg. All right, now one out already in the books. And that's going to now bring up McGill. Remains with a hot bat. And he hits another one into the gap. He's going for 2. And he will jog on in, stand-up double for Cale McGill. All right, now that's going to bring up the relief pitcher, Isaiah Andruzzi. Nice breaking pitch in there by Starr. Starr has come in and been dominant in relief. He continues to work. Winds and fires. That pitch is missed away. Fires again. Hits for a called strike. And that one is yanked foul. That ball is in the dirt, but Gill will retreat back to second. Swing and a miss. He gets him. And now Kevin Beer will dig in the bottom of the 7th. Last hope, in essence, for Kings Christian. That ball is fouled straight back. Winds and fires. George Starr is dealing really good looking pitches here, as he's looking to close the door on this one. He kicks and fires again. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that, my friends, is what you call the ball game. It's a final from Walt Nicgorski Field, where the Delsea Crusaders, with a bit of a statement win, take this one 10-3. And that's going to do it for Saturday. We are going to regroup and be back tomorrow, where we'll start things off. First pitch, 11 a.m., Egg Harbor Township versus Brick Memorial. So on behalf of everyone at the Thank You Classic and BFA Sports, I want to give a shout-out again to our producer, Ryan Schumacher, senior camera operator, Charles Hope, Cody Skywalker, Higginbotham over at first, and my wife. Here's hoping that I don't have to sleep on the couch after making her work 12 hours on the camera at third base dugout all day long. Thanks for watching. This is Doug Stasic. We can't wait to see you play ball.